think that the American people are adult enough to accept everything from the JFK, MLK files, from the Epstein files, and I think that it's about time that the federal government treats us like adults and like we can handle it. The reason why I think this is blowing up in such a PR crisis is because what Epstein has become quite cultural, because the people who were involved, many of them had Hollywood types, people that you may or may not have known. You say the No Kings protest, you were certainly the queen of Hollywood. And there's this clip that I just can't get out of my mind, and it was from 2020. It's a long time ago. It's the single best roast of Hollywood I've ever heard from Ricky Gervais.
Oh yeah, that would sound great.
Really short clip here, and it's just 20 seconds. But he says something, and it's so telling, especially the responses from the Hollywood elite in the room, where he says, you're all friends with Epstein, you had to use your own plane to get here. Here we go.
That's a show about a man who wants to kill himself because his wife dies of cancer, and it's still more fun than this, okay? Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself, just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up! I know he's your friend, but I don't care. You had to make your own way here in your own plane, didn't you?
So...
You know what, Benny? I don't think he's dead. I think they took him out of there, and, I think he gave everybody up. I don't think he died.
I mean, the floor is yours. Please expound.
Well, when they took it, my son goes, "Don't start, Mom," because I go down a lot of rabbit holes. Maybe they're crazy, maybe they're not. Everything else I've said has come true after everybody said I was crazy. But they say that, it's all about, when they took that body out that's supposed to be Jeffrey Epstein, how come the profile looked just like Anthony Bourdain? It didn't look like no Jeffrey Epstein.
The reason I played the clip, Roseanne, is because obviously this is your experience vector, and you're from this world, and you were the queen of Hollywood. And so when that joke was made, first off, what was your reaction? Maybe you were watching it live at the Golden Globes.
Oh, yeah.
And then two...
I was so mad, Benny.
How do you know? Yeah.
I was like, why am I not up there saying that? And I'm so jealous. He wrote the greatest jokes. I was just jealous, seething. But I was cheering like, hell yeah. And then they would go to Tom Hanks and get his face. I'm like, hey, there's some of our type in Hollywood behind them cameras and writing, helping Ricky, shape his act. Because, you have to have helpers, because any show they watch, everything you say, pick it apart. So he had to have that approved. So there's some of our kind in there, people who just are not buying the BS anymore and know better. Because we saw with our own eyes what they do. We saw what they do. I mean, the last Hollywood party I went to, I won't mention the person's name, but everyone was there. It was A+, whatever the hell, all the movie stars. And in comes a big movie star, and with him, his date, who was a 12-year-old boy. Okay, everybody was in their corners going... And I went, Lord, help me find my keys and get to my car. I had been drinking, like always. But I go, Lord, help me get my keys and get to my car and get the whole hell out of here and make it home safely. Please, Lord. And I ran for my life. And that was the last time, Benny. So, yeah, I know what they do, and I know they do even worse. And I moved to Hawaii. Couldn't be there 1 second longer than I had to. And then to think that I came back from Hawaii to go there again because I saw how bad they were trying to separate people and, the only reason they separate us and say, oh, that's the Republicans, that's the Democrats. The only reason they do that, Benny, is for fundraising. Because we're their prey. They definitely don't represent any of us or do nothing for us. They just use us for fundraising bait. But I came back to Hollywood to try to fight the separation they were trying to, because divide and conquer. And the second time back, it had gotten even worse. Oh my God. But it's all devil worshippers. I'm telling you, I always say, baby blood drinking Democrat donors. That's it, period.
Just a final question on this topic, since, of course, it is your expertise. What do you think would happen if there was an honest prosecution of people at Diddy parties, people on the Epstein list? Do you think that anybody would be left standing in Hollywood? Is it that endemic?
I think it goes to the royals of the world, the kings and queens. That's how they get there. Come on, it isn't just Hollywood. It's everything. It's the devil's world. And it's up to us to wrestle it back and fix it and kick their ass out. They got to go. They got to go. And, you know, I think God's removing them. I think God's removing them a boatload at a time. And how he's showing us he's removing them is when they get on the TV or what have you, they implode themselves with their friggin' lies. Their bullshit hit the wall. And they implode right before our eyes with their, you know, for me, it's like when they start cursing out the Jews. That's the devil. To me, I'm a Jew. But when you go after God and the Bible and the people who study every word in the Bible, I'm not talking about, you know, lefties and commie Jewish people I call ginos, Jews in name only. But I mean us that believe and we study and we wait and we believe and you know they just want to destroy us and everything that we have lived through, and it's a war because in the Torah it says God created this earth to be a place where there would be a war between good and evil. That's what it says. And that's what we're seeing. And we're also seeing those who hate God, they hate the Bible, they hate people who are believers of that. They're coming hard on us. They're coming hard against us. And they're tearing us apart. But, you know, luckily, you know, also in Judaism, it says that, you know, though it looks like 99% is of the material world, when we look out as human beings, we see 99% material world, physical world. It's the 1% that matters because that's God. God is in this place of darkness, this world. The 1% is all that matters. And so I'm just watching it in that way going, look at how God's exposing them. Look how they say one thing and do another. Look at their double standards. Look how they condemn these people for doing the same thing that they laud these people for doing. Look how they do. Look at it. See it. You're supposed to see it. You're supposed to witness it, because witnessing it weaves it into visibility, and then it will disappear. When people see it, when people pray it away, it'll go away. And it's all internal work, and don't be like all, you know, watching for devil porn. Get it in here and, you know, connect, see it, that it can be taken apart. Everything's strung together with words. Everything can be undone with words. The right words, holy words. And that's the 1%. And like I say, well, you know, there's 99% versus the 1% that, you know, that's the chance we have, is the 1% in the 100%. But of course that's going to win, because that's the one that matters. That's all there is. All there is God. None of these devil worshiping fools, they're not going to win. They got a little bit of a show to put on, but enjoy it, because at the end they look like a bunch of assholes. Every damn one of them, from Schumer, oh, they're all assholes, and we're seeing it. And we're watching the people that are defending them, and they're assholes too. It's a war of good people against assholes. So be sure to witness it. That's my 2 cents.
We often say on this program, Roseanne, it's the war of darkness versus light, but yeah, good people versus assholes. You know, we will certainly put that as a quote from Roseanne.
You know what?
That's the Roseanne version of that.
It's
Yes.
not the group.
God is in.
Because there's assholes in every group. So you're
God
not
is in.
fighting a whole group. You're fighting assholes of every color and stripe and belief. They're bad.
God is in control. That's exactly right. Don't put your faith in man or